Hello and welcome back to reading my Radioapple fanfic. I wrote this fanfic on Wattpad, and in my comments I will link my Wattpad in case you want to read all this yourself, or if you want to read any of my other fanfics. This is chapter 26 of my Radioapple fanfic. Warning, warning, warning. There is a warning up here. Warning, this is for 18 plus. You have to be an adult to listen to this. If you are not an adult, you need to scroll, or I will call your parents and get you grounded. Scroll on. Adults only. Adults only. There is a warning. Okay, anyway, let's read it now. Alistair continued to hold Lucifer's hand, walking him down the path that led to his old radio tower. It was huge, like a skyscraper, and it had been a few months since Alistair had been there. He was happy to bring his lover somewhere more peaceful. He genuinely didn't want to go back to the hotel yet either. There was a stew of problems brewing there before he left, and he was at a point where it's not his circus or his monkeys. He was glad to avoid it, and that Lucifer was willing to avoid it also, even if he didn't fully know what was going on there yet. He led Lucifer to the top of his tower, where he would sit in his big office to record for the radio station. Alistair sat in his big black office chair and had another chair ready for Lucifer to sit in beside him. You think your radio tower is better than heaven? Lucifer asked. I am better than heaven. Alistair laughed in a self-centered tone that was humorous to himself. Lucifer rolled his eyes and started looking around while he sat there. Am I the only one you've ever brought here? Of course, you wouldn't have even been able to enter without me. This is my solitude, where I come to isolate from the hotel, Alistair replied. So what do we do here? Lucifer asked. We can broadcast. Have you ever been on radio, my darling? Alistair happily handed a headset to Lucifer to put on and record on air with him. Lucifer took the headset and put it on with a smile. What are we supposed to talk about? Wait, I'm nervous. I've never done this before. We'll talk about what we like and then cut to some tunes. How amazing is it to have the king of hell himself on my broadcast? That was something I could only dream of when I was still living, Alistair said as he was about to switch them to on air. Lights turned up and radios all over hell tuned in to hear Alistair, who started out by greeting himself and Lucifer. Hi everyone, Lucifer said sheepishly, not knowing what else to say while live. Oh, come on now, my king. Tell them more. You're the only one I would share this opportunity with, Alistair said gleefully. Well, okay. I know the hot topic lately has been my redemption arc, but I think you should also talk about yourself. It's your show, and you make a hell of a sexy boss. Lucifer smiled, knowing that if he was put on the spot, he'd put Alistair on the spot too. And then in parentheses, this whole next paragraph in parentheses says, somewhere in the Family Guy style cutscene, breaking the fourth wall is IMP listening to the broadcast too, and Blitzo getting excited, saying, hey, he said the thing, the name of the show. It was funny in my head, I'm sorry. I just imagine that, because he said hell of a sexy boss, so I just imagine, Blitzo being like, oh my gosh, hell of a boss, guys, he said the thing. Luna, he said the thing. It was funny to me. Alistair could sense the game he was playing right off the bat and decided to keep playing. No need for flattery, my dear king. I see you trying to charm the charmer. But please tell me about how a redeemed fallen angel ended up having a secret affair with a demon overlord. Lucifer was confused. Was Alistair really wanting to talk about their relationship and make it public for everyone in hell right now? He looked at Alistair, scanning his face for a moment before replying. I guess it won't be a secret anymore. He's tall, mysterious, and loves when I bend him over. Tell everyone how you found love too, Bambi. Isn't it precious? He gave cutesy eyes to Alistair. Very bold, are we? A bit scandalous bringing up your sex life. As a matter of fact, I did find someone I'm infatuated with. But you wouldn't believe who it is, Alistair said cheekily. Who is it, will you say? Lucifer asked. Beyonce, Alistair said, being a smartass, and laughed. Lucifer rolled his eyes and laughed too. This back and forth was allowing him to ease up to the point. He wasn't even concerned who was listening anymore, and Alistair didn't care either. They were just having fun together in their own way. I think I'll be taking you home tonight. Lucifer licked his lips. And what would you do with me there? We're alone right now, Alistair said, leaning closer to him. If you aren't careful, Mr. Radio Star, I might fuck you now. Don't threaten me with a good time. Lucifer sat on his lap to get even closer to him. All of hell would actually hear me dominating the devil. That turns my ego on, Alistair said before biting Lucifer's neck. You turn me on, damn, Lucifer moaned and melted into him. Mind you, all of hell is I should have put this in parentheses also. But mind you, all of hell is listening to everything they say and all the noises they make, even at the hotel. And Vox is jealous, I'm sure. if he's listening at all. Alistair picked him up by the waist, putting Lucifer on the control panel in front of him. He slipped himself between the king's legs and made out with him violently. They get so lost in each other, and somehow Lucifer's bum bumped the right button to turn the broadcast off, so they were now off the air. So, people even commented, thank God. It's good I included that detail. Luckily, before it escalated more, but neither of them cared either. They didn't even pay attention to their surroundings anymore. Clothes were being ripped off of each other, and Alistair being very much the dominant one this time. They both loved control during smex, so they have to switch who's top sometimes. This time, Alistair definitely wanted to top him, especially in his own radio tower. It turned him on doing what he wanted with the devil in his own personal space. Alistair left hickeys all over Lucifer's body, not just on his neck. He even clawed down his torso, and Lucifer bled a bit, but it prompted Alistair to lick it clean. He loved the angel blood, made him hornier. His chicken growing harder. He grabbed Lucifer, threw him over to the wall of chains he had, and chained him up. He wanted more than vanilla smex. He wanted BDSM type crap. He wanted to master the king. He whipped him and put a ball gag in his mouth to muffle Lucifer. Lucifer allowed it to happen. He hated to admit it, but he loved it. He loved it and wanted him to continue. Alistair couldn't hold back, smucking Lucifer's eggplant after torturing him. God, I love that man. I love a man that can handle me, Alistair said seductively. He sucked until Lucifer let his load out into Alistair's mouth. He didn't swallow. He stood up, removed the ball gag, spit the spew into Lucifer's mouth, and made him swallow his own spew. It made Alistair's eggplant even harder and throbbing, and he tongue kissed him again and bit his lip. Then Alistair grabbed him by the legs, holding them up, and inserted his chicken inside Lucifer's bum. Lucifer moaned loudly in pleasure. He loved how rough the demon was. It was such a guilty pleasure to be effed raw by this sinner. Fast forward to post-nut clarity. Once the smexy time was done, they laid on the floor in the afterglow together. They both had a cigarette and blissfully cuddled close together. They didn't hear all of that on the radio, right? Lucifer asked. Alistair took a long drag of his cigarette, then blew the smoke out. They probably heard some of it, but this is not what was originally expected. Oh God, and what if the hotel listened? Lucifer was nervous. They're busy with other problems, Alistair assured. Worse problems than listening to us? Lucifer asked. Oh, definitely. That's why I'd rather be here with you. Alistair pulled him close lovingly. I read this so good, actually. I read this better than the other smutty chapters. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'm glad we made it through that. And when we come back, we'll be reading chapter 27, which will be tomorrow. Bye!